Line 4, great. It's pretty exciting tonight, actually. We actually do have a guest. I forgot to announce, baseball season is here. This is the week that, it starts back up. And if you're a follower of, I don't know if you're a follower of local sports, tomorrow is the first day of the season for the Newbridge Ratmen, it's a minor league team in Newbridge. And this is a special year for the Ratmen. Because a lot of people are talking about in the majors, Jamie Moyer, who's 49 years old, got picked up by the Colorado Rockies. Outside of this area, you're not hearing a whole lot about how this is for Gus Brennan. He's the right fielder for the Newbridge Ratmen. This is his 35th consecutive season, and he has not missed a game since 1977. The guy is 53 years old. Around these parts, he's known as Mr. Reliable, the Gray Mule, and it's pretty exciting. Let me see if we have Gus Brennan on the line.
Hello.
It's very exciting. Thank you, Mr. Brennan, for being a part of the show. Mr. Reliable.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
It's very exciting to have you on the show. I appreciate you kind of taking time out of what must be a pretty eventful week for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And again, for people on the show reaches worldwide. Okay. And, a lot of people not in Newbridge might not know. You have, Cal Ripken, when he set the record for most consecutive games played.
Right.
He capped out, 2,600? Like, 26, I think it was 2632, if I remember correctly.
I think that's correct, yeah.
2,632 consecutive games. But you've blown his record out of the water.
A little more, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's saying something. You're coming into this with how many games in a row?
Going in 5,508 in
oh
a
my
row.
God, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very incredible time for me, and of course the Ratmen. And I just want to say that it's such a blessing to be able to keep playing all these years. And I'll tell you, it seems like only yesterday I was 18, playing my first minor league game. It was April of 1977.
Wow.
And just to still be doing it and to be able to contribute to our squad is a true blessing, and I'm truly blessed.
Yeah, that's for sure. When you think about it, 5,508 games in a row, 35 years. I can only imagine what your body has gone through to get you through all of those games.
Well, yeah. I'll be honest. There have certainly been some tough times when I have trouble getting up in the morning. But I really like to take good care of myself. It's my number one priority. I do lots of yoga, and I take a lot of supplements also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. Another, I don't know, like an inside baseball is a phrase that people use for stat stuff.
Right.
But something that people might not know is that the streak you hold at 5,508 is not the world record for most consecutive games.
That is correct, yeah.
That actually belongs to a Japanese baseball player who I think he's with the Osaka Tigers.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, Takadeki.
Hideki, and he's at, I think it was coming up on 5,600 games.
It's just under, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Tak is a fine player. He's what I refer to, like myself, as a lifer.
Sure.
And I was as shocked as anyone when he announced his retirement last month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. He retired fairly abruptly. I guess he had just had enough, and I want to say right now, I wish my comrade many happy years of an enjoyable retirement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess if he's retired for where he's at, it was at, what did you say, 5,500?
92 or 3,
okay,
I think. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So you could break his record.
I certainly hope so. That's the plan. If all goes well, I will do that. But I first and foremost, I just really want to help the team and do the very best that I can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure, because that could be like come July, you could break his record.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Gus, you've been such a mainstay for Newbridge sports, but it's a shame in the scheme of things that you played most of your career in the minor leagues, and that your story that kind of relegates your story to being local and not like to the scope. You don't get the ink that like Cal Ripken got for his accomplishment, for example.
I'll be honest. That is a little frustrating on my end, because I do think that the AA league is just as competitive as the big leagues. I've done my time in the big leagues. I prefer the minors, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit more of a tight knit community, and everyone cares about each other. And in the bigs, it's all me. It's a giant ego trip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what really makes me keep doing it is the Newbridge fans. I love them more than I could possibly say. They keep me going if I'm hurting or if I'm feeling low. When they start that Gus chant, it's like a shot of adrenaline.
Sure.
And when they break into that Ratman shriek,
mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's like Popeye's eating his spinach.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see those kids in the stands and they're eating those sundaes out of miniature Ratmen baseball helmets,
mm-hmm.
that's when the waterworks start.
You really feel the magnitude of it.
I do. Oh, hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You play records on your show?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff?
Like a mix of stuff, but I guess you could say mostly rock.
Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
That's
no
not,
thanks.
Oh, okay.
That's not for me. That stuff, it kind of puts me on edge.
Rock music?
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love this Adam Lambert, though.
Uh-huh.
That man has a voice on him, huh?
Yeah, Adam Lambert. He was the American Idol. I think he came in second a couple of years ago or a couple seasons ago, and he really has an amazing voice.
That man's a good singer. He's great.
It's going to be something else to see what he does. I guess he's doing a couple concerts with Queen this year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I guess he's filling in.
Singing with them?
Yes. Like
why on earth would that man do that?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like he has the voice for it.
Ugh. That man has nothing in common with that band or its former singer. Nothing at all. Well, I guess that's the end of that.
Well, I'm sorry.
Hey, I should hit the sack soon. I have to get up early for practice. Hey, before I go, do you need me to do an audiograph?
An audiograph?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to get one.
All right.
It's for people who don't know, this is kind of an up-and-coming thing. It's like an audio version of an autograph.
Are you ready?
Yes, please.
To host, keep your bat back, and keep swinging for the fences. Mr. Reliable, Gus Brennan.
Wow. Man, that's pretty awesome. I appreciate that. Well, Mr. Brennan, it's I got to say, it's been a real honor having you kind of take the time out of your evening during this exciting week. And if I could get a little sentimental, it's like you're an inspiration to.
Oh, thanks, huh?
Yeah, to like not only the local community, like you were saying with Newbridge, but just to all of baseball and to just people who are trying to make a difference. And you kind of just you're a living embodiment that age is just a number.
Oh, well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I do want to invite everyone out there to come down to 14 River Stadium starting this week and help us celebrate the season and also, of course, celebrate my streak. We have a whole lot of different events planned, and it's going to be fun for everybody. And thanks for having me on your show, Carol.
It's Tom.
Oh, I thought you were a woman.
Oh, no. Well, really? Oh, okay. Wow. I don't know why I thought I was a woman, but that was exciting. Gus Brennan. A legend. Whew. A little high after that, a little tipsy. I don't know what do I call that? Giddy. Giddy. I'm not high or tipsy. I'm giddy. That's very exciting. I have an actual legend on the show. Gus Brennan. Let's pick it back up. Put a topic on the table. Let's see here. Beep boop 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 boop. What should we talk about? Okay, I did this already. Oh yeah. I don't know if anybody has seen this Three Stooges movie. The trailer, I guess they put another trailer up for the Three Stooges movie. Really does not look any good. Oh wait, Mike's saying line 1. Okay. FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, I just tuned in a second ago, and I this is a weird question. I think I heard my teammate on your show.
Well, we just had Gus Brennan on.
It was him.
Your teammate?
That's so weird, yeah.
He's a teammate of yours?
Yeah.
Wow. What's your name?
Oh, this is Tim Reddick. I'm the catcher for the Ratmen.
Oh, wow. That's pretty exciting.
Well, it's so odd to me that he was on the show because I listen to FMU quite often, and it's just so odd for him to be on a show that has anything to do with music. It's very odd.
Yeah, and that was pretty exciting to have him on. I mean, that guy's something else.
He is something else, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like look, this would be a good opportunity to get some insight to somebody who plays with Gus rather than hear it from Gus. He seems like a very, humble guy, and it's just like if you wouldn't mind, can you give some insight into what it's like? Like a few words about Gus from a teammate's perspective.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let me just say that Gus is, without a doubt, the greatest, most perfect example of the kind of person that this team absolutely requires if it hopes to never, ever finish in the top 3 of its division.
Wait, no, that sounds negative. What did you just said? I mean, I thought it was a pretty big build-up for something negative. But, yeah, why would you say something so negative about him?
Well, look, I've had a couple handfuls of beer already tonight, so maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but Gus Brennan is a total liability to this team.
To the Ratmen?
Yeah, he's totally jeopardizing our chances of winning.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How so?
How long is this show? Because I could go on for hours about that old bag of pus.
Wow, I'd love to get some insight into this.
All right. Well, for starters, he's a big old blowhard. Mm-hmm. He never for a second lets us forget that he once donned the orange face paint.
What is the orange face paint?
Oh, I always forget that people don't really remember or know the history of the Newbridge minor league team. I think it was the 40s. The Newbridge minor league team goes all the way back to the 40s. The team was originally called the Newbridge Oil Boys, and it was back when there was all that offshore drilling going on in Newbridge Inlet, and they even played their first home games of their first season on an oil rig.
Really?
Yeah, that was the stadium. It was really bad though. Half the team drowned.
Because they were playing on an oil rig,
and they would just fall, they go up for a high pop up, and kaploom.
Oof.
It was sick.
Yeah, and they were called the Oil Boys back then.
Yep. And actually, by 1974, they'd gone through about, I think at least 5 different names. There was the Newbridge Bridge Builders.
Okay.
Then there was the Golden Whale Sharks, the Newbridge Lemons. The Hippies, that was a crazy one. It was in the late 60s. They wore headbands and they had these beaded jerseys.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't last long. And then they were the Hornets when the AMC plant was in Newbridge before it petrified.
Yeah, for the car.
Yep.
Okay, so they were the Newbridge Hornets.
Yeah, and then in 1974, the owner, Runyon Davies, that's Judge Davies' brother, in an effort to lure the sun-kissed orange juice bottling division to Newbridge, he renamed the team the Orange Faces.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how many photos of this exist, but the uniforms were solid orange, and the players hated it.
Yeah, that would be pretty brutal to play in a pretty ugly uniforms.
Awful. And the worst part was that he made them paint their faces orange.
Really?
Yeah, this thick grease paint.
While they're playing.
While they're playing, so it's like August, and these guys are in this face paint.
Yeah. That sounds horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So they played 3 seasons like that, and Sunkist actually never moved up here, and as a result, 2/3 of the team developed flagrant crater face
from the orange face paint.
Yeah.
And Gus was Gus wore that?
Those were his first. He started in '77. So he was at the last season of that. But Davies loved that movie Ben 2.
I don't know that movie.
You know Ben?
Ben, the movie with the kid befriends the rat.
The rat, yeah. There was a sequel that was barely in the theaters at all.
Ben 2.
Yeah, it was just terrible. It came out in '77, and actually Michael Jackson, who of course sang the hit theme of the first one. He was going to star in Ben 2, but he pulled out, so they ended up getting Curly Neal to play the kid.
Who?
Curly Neal?
Curly Neal.
Yeah.
From that, not the Three Stooges. Oh no, that's it's
Harlem Globetrotters.
Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
So because they didn't get Michael Jackson to play the kid. They went and they got one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah. So here's this 33-year-old man playing a 12-year-old. Kind of reminds you of something, doesn't it?
What?
Clifford.
Yes, it does remind. That is like Clifford.
Yeah, he was Martin Short before Martin Short was Martin Short.
Curly Neal from the
reminds me of the I love that movie actually. There was a great line in it where Charles Grodin is talking to Mary Steenburgen, and she sees that the house that he wants to buy isn't really suitable for children. So she goes, "You don't even like kids," and he goes, "I love kids. I'm great with my my nephew." And she goes, "I didn't know you had a nephew. What's his name?" And he says, "Max."
Well, I don't think that's the line.
Now, what do you think it is?
I believe the line is, "I want to say Mason."
I don't get it. Anyway, that's where the Ratman name came from.
It's from
he was a huge fan of Ben too. Anyway, getting back to Gus.
So he changed the name of the team because of his love for a unpopular movie.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, and that's why the team has been the Ratmen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but getting back to Gus. Such a bummer.
What is?
Oh, he's a bummer to have around, basically.
Why?
You feel like your grandpa is just constantly watching you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's an older guy. I don't
know, but did he get on you for playing rock music?
Yeah, he
I
did.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Well,
here's
why.
He was not happy.
I know. Here's why.
Why?
He thinks rock is sorcery.
Sorcery. Really?
Yeah. He swears he once saw one of the guys in Poco conjure a demon with his bass.
Really?
Yeah. And back in '97, he got into a huge stink with the owner of the stadium about having a Third Eye Blind Wallflower show there. Yeah, said he was going to commit suicide if the show went on.
That's what Gus said.
Yeah. He threatened to poison and then eat his own uniform.
If the show went on.
Yep, yeah.
And did it?
Yeah, it did, yes. Yeah.
So he didn't, I'm assuming.
Well, he ate, like, I think he got up to, like, the chest area of the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, and got taken to the hospital.
Yeah, so he's a crabby old man.
Yeah. Well, that's why this Adam Lambert thing is so weird, because he hates rock, but he really is super into Adam Lambert, and he talks about him all the time. Yeah, he has a picture of him in his cleats, which I don't get at all.
In his cleats?
Yeah, so I guess when he puts his cleats on, the last thing he sees is Adam Lambert.
That's weird.
I don't get it, yeah. So he's not at all into, the stuff we're into, music-wise. This is a guy that his walk-on music is a lecture.
Is what?
A lecture?
A lecture.
Yeah, it's a lecture by Vince Lombardi on sportsmanship.
So, when he goes up to the plate, and, some guys will have, like rock
you like a hurricane or something.
Yeah. You hear a lecture when he goes up.
Yeah. And when the season starts, his first at-bat is going to be the first line of this lecture, and then it'll go all season, and it'll end at his last at-bat in September.
So somebody who goes to every game, every home game, could potentially hear the entire speech.
Yeah. And I say his last at bat in September because if he's in the starting lineup, there's no way that we're going to get in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, you think he's that much of a liability?
Oh yeah. Do you know what he batted in spring training this year?
What?
4.
Well, that's pretty good. 400?
No, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Like 40? 40?
No. 004.
4? So how is that possible?
I know. Yeah. How is that possible? I'll tell you how. He was at bat 45 times, and the only time he got on base was due to his getting sick from exhaustion as he ran to first on a bunt, and he ended up puking on the ball, and nobody wanted to pick the ball up.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
That's horrible.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable for you.
Yeah, so you are not a fan.
Speaking of Mr. Reliable, we have all these great nicknames that we call him behind his back. You ready?
Yeah.
Ty Blob.
Ty Blob.
He's big. He's fat.
Sure.
Pete Roast.
Okay. Leave me like a pot roast.
Like Pete Rose.
Yeah, sure.
Blob Ruth.
Okay.
Mr. Reverse.
What's that?
Mr. Reverse, because he runs so slow.
It's almost like he's running.
He's going backwards.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You know A-Rod? We call Gus G-Blob.
G-Blob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Benchbreaker.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. Vida, I blew it again.
Well, I gotta say,
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, look,
we all do.
Yeah, well, these are funny, but it just seems like this guy going for a record.
Well, I know, but he's a physical wreck. He has the body of like an 80-year-old. Did he mention the quote-unquote supplements he takes?
He did say he takes supplements, and I think did he say yoga maybe?
All right. Well, let's tackle the supplements first. All right.
Okay. What are the supplements?
Well, they're these weird ape growth hormones that current pharmaceuticals makes. And they're only available in Mexico, and they're called Arribas. I'm not kidding. That's their actual name. How wrong is that?
Arriba.
You got to trill it.
Arriba.
Yeah.
So he takes that.
Yeah. Ape growth hormones.
So And what? So it's
That's like human, but their budget. They're ape.
so they okay.
I don't know how they get them. It's
Uh-huh.
sick. I'm sure it's sick.
But they're not. I mean, are they meant for other apes?
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
he's taking ape because is that just like that's a cheapo thing? Like he's cheap?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's a chintz. Yeah. But he has to take handfuls of these things just to be able to get out of the dugout and onto the field. And there's all these weird side effects. Oh, sometimes his muscles catch fire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Flames shoot out of his legs.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. And I'll tell you one thing. It's fun to spray him with a fire extinguisher.
Uh-huh.
We go, "Hey, Gus, want some vanilla pudding?" And we shoot him with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It also makes him go on these graveyard night peppers.
What a graveyard night what?
Peppers. You know how we play pepper to warm up?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, he does that, but instead of a bat, he uses a dead person's femur and a skull for the ball.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm talking about coffin fun.
Ew.
Yeah.
This is insane.
I know,
what you're
yeah.
saying. I mean, look, I got to say, I understand that, from a business standpoint, that the Newbridge Ratmen's front office this is probably a dream come true for them.
Right.
To, kind of make the most of this streak that Gus is trying to set.
Right.
But but with the stuff you're saying, it sounds like he's unfit to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, then why? I mean, at some point you have to focus on putting a quality baseball
Winning,
team
yeah,
together. Yeah. I mean, do you have any idea how this is happening? Because it's like he should have never gotten. I know he's close to breaking the record,
Right.
but this does not seem like an overnight development. That he's been this bad. How did he just not get shown the door when, 10 years ago, 15, when somebody would over, when their skills diminished to that degree?
The pictures.
The pictures.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the pictures?
All right. Well, again, you didn't hear from me. You strapped in?
Yes.
Got your Ratman helmet on?
My Ratman helmet?
Yeah.
I don't have one here now.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. In 1982, Runyon Davies sent Gus a notice saying that he was terminated.
In 82.
82. He was playing terribly. And, he had a huge drinking problem back then, which he still does.
Uh-huh. So this is 30 years ago.
Yeah.
He got a termination notice or whatever.
Yeah. I'm big booze hound. His glove was actually rigged so each finger had a different kind of alcohol in it.
Back then.
Yeah, one had vodka, one had whiskey, one had rum, gin, and so he's doing that, and while he's on the field, and he's also sneaking bites of subs between pitches. Just awful stuff, and he'd face the wrong way in the batter's box.
What do you mean, like away from the pitcher?
Yeah, or just like away from the plate. Like he wasn't even, how you'll face the plate to bat.
Sure.
He'd be facing the other team's dugout. It didn't make any sense. He was out of his mind. And on the rare occasion that he'd get on base, the whole time he's out there like on first or second. He's making eyes with some POA in the stands while he's having a pant rummage.
Ugh.
With the other hand, yeah, I know. So he ends up getting canned. So he's terrified, and what's he going to do? So he goes over to Davies' home to beg for another chance. And when he knocks on the door kind of just pushes open.
Yeah.
So Gus goes in the house, and I don't know how else to say this. He stumbled upon Davies getting amorous with a vacuum cleaner. Very twisted stuff.
I don't even know what.
Well, let your imagination run wild. He actually had the vacuum cleaner.
I don't want to. No, I don't. I don't want to know that.
Well, he decorated the vacuum cleaner to look like Ann Jillian from It's a Living, which was a hit show at the time.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So, Gus being Gus, he always has a camera on him.
Uh-huh.
And so he starts snapping away, and before you know it, he's fired off like 42 shots in like 40 seconds. So he's got the incriminating material there on him, So Gus has Davies over a barrel, and they strike this deal where Gus can never be let go of the team, no matter how terrible he is. And he gets to play at least 3 or 4 innings a game
to maintain his
streak. Yeah. He's even like co-owner at this point.
Really?
Yeah, Gus is. And the Ratmen logo?
Yeah.
That's Gus with a rat face.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, yeah, it's Gus. It's like a profile kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
You can tell it's him by the comb over.
Let me look at the logo. Hold on.
Yeah. He's got the whiskers and the rat nose and the rat eyes and that kind of buck tooth thing that rats have. But you can see the comb over on top, too.
Yes, I can kind of see it. I see what you're talking about.
It's Gus.
That kind of is him, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Hey, did he tell you about his time in the big leagues?
No. No, I know there was a... Is there like a limited window there or something? I'm not sure what the details are.
Yeah, you might say that. Yeah, 10 whopping games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's what happened. He actually did well in Newbridge his first 3 seasons.
Uh-huh.
When he was in the minors, and actually led the team in hits in 78 or 9, I think, and decent fielder.
Okay,
so,
then kind of.
Well, he gets called up to the Montreal Expos in '80.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So he's actually in what we call the show. That's not fiction. In this baseball movies they do call it the show, and that's what we call it.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Gus is that deadly combination of unbridled arrogance and what's a nice way of saying this? Caucasian refuse.
What?
White trash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you know what I mean. So, Gus is Newbridge to the bone.
Uh-huh.
So talk about culture shock when Gus gets up to Montreal. Have you read this new Johnny Ramone book?
I've heard about it.
It's really great.
I've heard people like it.
I bring it up because Johnny had a real problem with being in France. He hated it.
Uh-huh.
Just had no time for it. And then, he said that the first time he was there was the only time he ever thought of killing himself.
Uh-huh.
And that's exactly how Gus was in Montreal.
Okay.
No concept of the language at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought everyone there was inferior to him, and he actually called them frogs in training.
Ugh.
To their faces.
That's terrible.
I know. And he actually thought that they ate those Canada mints that your grandma has out when you go visit her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He thought that was their main food.
He thought that was literally what people in Canada ate.
Yep. And of course Canada Dry Soda was what they only drank.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, at these games they play both the U.S. and the Canadian anthems before the game starts.
Uh-huh.
And Gus would not only face away from the Canadian flag while their anthem played, he'd do his best to pass gas through it.
Ew.
Yeah, and he'd even go as far as to eat certain foods that would aid that endeavor.
I don't want to know
about
that.
I know.
That's
Sick.
terrible.
Yeah. So basically, he annoyed everyone so much that they sent him packing, and he was branded a troublemaking ingrate, and he never got sent up again. And the next day, he was back in Newbridge, playing like he has for the last few decades.
And then he was on the. Then he kind of sounds like he became kind of a drunk.
Yeah. Well, he continued his drinking, and of course he blamed that whole thing on everyone but himself. The coaches pulled a choke job, the front office dropped the ball, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, hey, did Gus mention the waterworks that get turned on when he sees those kids in the stands?
Oh yeah. He was talking.
Always talks about that. Well,
yeah.
There's wetness, all right, but not in his eyes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about bladder blunders.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't want to. What is that?
Well, he's got something going on down there. It's a combination of the drinking and then also just he's an older guy. He's lived hard and how can I say this? Old Gus's concentration has always been, bad. But now that he's worried about the Yakuza, he's especially distracted.
Wait, what was that?
The Yakuza.
Yeah, no, I know. Why is he worried about the Yakuza?
Well, again, you didn't hear this from moi, all right? Gus had that Japanese guy, Tak, taken out.
Tak, the guy with the who holds the record.
Yeah, his Japanese rival?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow Gus got in with the Japanese mafia, the Yakuza, and they had Tak's leg broken. That's why Tak is quote-unquote retired.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But, of course, Gus chinched out and didn't pay the Yakuza the agreed-upon price.
Okay.
Yeah, now he's afraid that they're after him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he has every right to be scared because some scary Japanese dudes with these big tattoos have been seen at Mr. Yimple's. That's the bar the team drinks at.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Gus calls these guys the Rice Patrol.
That's terrible.
Total Gomer, I know. Yeah.
Well, it's just racist.
I know, and he keeps saying stuff like, "Those guys are in my dojo now,"
Uh-huh.
But he's terrified, and you know this because his voice just kind of quivers when he says it. Those guys are in my dojo now.
So he's just like an old... It's really... I thought he was like a hero.
Oh, God, no. And I'm going to say this now. I'll be astonished if he makes it through the season, his murder notwithstanding.
Uh-huh.
Guy's a physical wreck. I mentioned earlier the bladder problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's so bad he has an on-field toilet.
Oh.
Yeah. It's made of grass, so it looks like it's part of the field. And he also has this lean-to that's built into his uniform. You can't see it either. Like, you can't see it because it's, from far away it looks like it's his uniform because it's made of the same thing. And but he can't stand for more than like 2 minutes at a time, so he needs this lean-to, and the umps are all paid off, so they aren't going to bust him for the lean-to or the field toilet. That's how scared Davies is of this creep.
So he's out. That's terrible.
I know. Yeah.
How's he getting away with that?
Well, Davies, like I said, he's terrified of him, that he's going to show everyone these incriminating photos, and
he's just out there for the.
He could do whatever he wants. Because the umps aren't going to say anything because they've all been paid off a ton of money. So now Gus is out there. He's got alcohol in his bat also, not just his glove, and he can't drink as much hard stuff anymore. So it's filled with wine cooler.
So what's he when he's in the field? Why does he have his bat with him?
Well, it's because he's allowed to take it out there. He's the only fielder in the history of baseball who can take a bat out onto the playing field when he's fielding.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
I know.
So he's out. So this is what we as fans of the Ratmen can look forward to this year.
Yeah,
is the Gray Mule, Gus Brennan.
Yep.
Out on the field.
Yep.
With a lean-to.
Yep.
That lets him rest.
Mm-hmm.
And a bat that he's drinking out of.
Yep.
And a toilet in the field.
Don't forget the yard sales.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he started it at the end of spring training. He has yard sales during the game.
I don't know what that means.
Well, he has a little stand that's on like just outside of the first baseline. So it's not actually in play, and he'll hobble over the other side of the foul ball line, and he has all this stuff of his that he's amassed over the years, and he sells it to fans. Old VHS tapes, half of which are of course porn, used swimsuits. It's just sick stuff.
Oh, that's and he's just allowed to have a little setup.
Yep. He brings dates into the outfield with him sometimes.
What does he bring?
Dates. Women, yeah. He'll like scope some floozy and he'll have her out there, and he's got this little DVD player that he watches movies with, these floozies in the outfield. He tries to paw them, of course. Everyone just turns a blind eye,
During the game.
Yeah. Hey, he didn't mention, did he mention yoga? That he does that to keep in shape?
Yes. Why?
You know what yoga's code for, right?
What?
Sex.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah. He has sex whenever he can with the female groundskeeper.
Uh-huh.
Let's just call her Sheila L.
Okay.
Yeah. Every night someone stumbles upon them writhing around all oiled up and naked on the tarp somewhere in the clubhouse. It's pretty sick.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. Hey, you know about his charity baseball camp, Sluggertown?
I remember seeing...
You see billboards for it every now and then.
Yeah. Just because he has a thing, I guess, what is that, like an off-season thing?
Oh, yeah, it's for the kids, to help the kids out,
Uh-huh.
What a joke.
What is it?
Well, he's only doing it for a tax write-off. He hates it.
Sluggertown.
Yeah. Whenever he leaves to go there in January, he says, hey, guys, I'm off to the baseball gulag.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He calls the little kids little swine mutants.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I thought this guy was he was talking about how choked up he gets about seeing the little kids out there.
Oh, yeah. He loves scaring them, too.
How does he scare them?
Well, he tells them that the camp is haunted by the ghost of a Nazi baseball team that died in a fiery bus crash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he makes the kids watch those Christian slasher films. Have you seen these things?
Christian slasher films?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they're sick.
I don't know about these.
Well, Trent L. Strauss's brother Tim does them.
Okay.
And they're just as, if not gorier, than Trent's films. But because the hero is always Jesus, he can call them Christian films.
Okay.
Yeah, the scariest ones are Mount Cyanide.
Okay.
Embalmed Sunday.
Uh-huh.
The Bible Saw.
The Bible Saw.
Diary of a Sadistic Minister.
Okay.
Slash Wednesday.
Oh, I get that. Okay.
Last Church on the Left.
Oh, that sounds like a last house on the left.
Pastor Giggles.
Uh-huh.
The Jesus Demon.
Uh-huh.
The Burning of Mike Bush.
Okay.
The Vermin on the Mount.
Uh-huh.
We Three Kings of Torture. And the scariest one's the Immaculate Exsanguination.
What was the scariest one?
The Immaculate Exsanguination?
Ooh, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds horrifying.
The weirdest one is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Nightmare Straitjacket.
That sounds horrifying.
Oh. Look,
right.
I probably said enough, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually pretty wasted.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been doing red neon quartz this whole time. Have you tried this? It's new.
What is it?
Red neon quartz?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it turns your winkle red.
Ugh, I don't. Hello? Okay. Wow. This Gus. That's a different it's Gus Brennan. I thought he was one thing. He's another.